got this. You have a decision to make. Am I going to do what the big coach tells me to do? Am I going to lean into my assignment? Am I going to do the running? Am I going to run the play like he's asking me to run it? Am I going to give everything I got because I got family right here, and I would do anything for my family and my brothers? You have a decision to make. It's up to you. It's you versus you in here. No matter what's going on in your life at home, whether you have one parent, you got two parents, you're adopted, or you live in a foster home. When you got family, there's a different feel to it. And here's the thing, in The Blind Side, there's a moment where Michael, he's 300 plus pounds. He's got all the potential in the world, right? He's showing up to practice, and the coach is wondering, why is he getting beat by this 220 pound white dude, right? Every single time he's getting beat. And he's at this private school, and the head coach is yelling at him. He's yelling at him. And then what does Miss Tui do? She walks on the field. What does Miss Tui say? This is your brother. Protect him. And he pulls the quarterback right next to him. Pulls up the quarterback and says, I need you to protect the QB like it's SJ. Right? SJ's the little brother. How many of y'all got a little brother? Right? How many got a sister? Right? What would you do for them? I want you to think about that for a moment. What would you do for family? How would you protect your little brother? How would you protect your sister? And that's what's so powerful about Miss Tui's words. If you guys want to be unified, you got to start treating each other like family. Because family, listen, you guys are going to have quarrels. Right? I get in arguments with my wife. I got two little ones at home. Right? My little 2.5-year-old, she drives me crazy sometimes. But when push comes to shove, if there's a car coming at her, I'm going to risk my life for her. If something's happening to your little brother or little sister or your cousin, you will risk your life for them, right? And there's a common bond that's kind of unspoken with family. There's a common bond that's unspoken that no matter what happens, you will always love them. And love is real cool because love is empathetic. How many of you guys know what empathy means? You know what empathy means? How about you, big dog? What's empathy? General concept. You don't got to spit it like a Webster's dictionary, but yeah, to show affection. Empathetic, right? But love is twofold. It's empathy and it also challenges. So when I'm talking about treating each other like family, you have to love on each other, but you also got to be able to challenge each other. Y'all with me? You want to call the highest calling out of one another and be able to challenge them. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Lock in. We only got 12 minutes. You got to be able to call each other out through love. And you got to treat each other like family. Miss Tui says you got to protect the quarterback like it's SJ. So when you're out there, if you don't really know the person to the left or to your right, it's hard to treat your brothers on the field like family. So one thing that I would implore you to do today and for the rest of your lives and for the rest of the time you have here, get to know the people next to you. It's impossible to hold somebody accountable if you have no relationship with them. That's number one. You got to be able to have a relationship with each and every one of them. You should know a lot about him back there and his brothers and sisters in his home life, right? You guys should all know something about each other because a lot of you have something riding on the line that a lot of us can't see, right? Each and every one of you has your own story. And here's the thing, this world is going to try to break up that story, right? You're about to go face Mountain View. What would you say? Are they a chirpy team? Are they chirping on social media at all yet? Are they messaging you guys or making fun of you guys yet? Here's the thing. How many of you guys saw the McGregor-Khabib fight? Conor McGregor versus Khabib. How many of you guys saw that? Have you seen the Netflix the documentary on Netflix? Right? So This is good. Lean in. I'm telling you, you will get something here. 10 minutes. Lean into this. So you got Conor McGregor. Everybody knows about him, right? Multi-millionaire. He's got the whiskey thing going on. He's got wins all these fights, right? And what is he? He's real flashy, right? He talks a lot. It's kind of his thing. I like Conor McGregor for some things that he does. I dislike him for some things that he does, right? But here's the thing. He's going up. If you watch the Netflix documentary, he's going up against Khabib. Khabib's arguably just as talented as he is. But Khabib doesn't say a word. And if you go watch the documentary, you see McGregor hasn't fought in 3 years because of injuries. He's popping off like crazy. He's got more energy spewing from his veins. He had just had a kid. His hormones, like, he's dad life now. He's fighter. Hasn't fought in 3 years. He's just pumped up. He's all gas. He's all chirp. If you go watch all the interviews, McGregor is bop, 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 bop. The whole time he's doing his thing. Khabib, locked in. He ain't saying nothing. He's not saying a dang word back. Here's the thing. When you go to a surprise party, how many of y'all ever had a surprise party? Surprise party. It's a surprise if you don't know it's coming, right? But if somebody whispers in your ear, you might have you having a surprise party. It's kind of hard to fake it, right? Y'all with me? You can nod your head. Y'all with me? Okay, let's talk here. So if I know a surprise party is coming, it's harder for me to fake it. So the same thing, just like a surprise party, if you know it's coming, it's not going to be a surprise to you. So Mountain View is chirping at you, yes? Okay, Mountain View is tweeting at you. They're doing the social media thing. They're doing what they do. That should be no surprise to you. That should be no surprise to you, but you got to protect your family. And you don't got to do it with words. You do it on the field tomorrow. You do it on the field tomorrow when the whistle blows. When you snap the freaking ball. That's when you defend your family tomorrow. Because if you know they're going to be, hey, somebody's going to call you the N-word tomorrow. Somebody's going to call you that. Somebody's going to spit in your face. Somebody's going to make fun of your mom. Somebody's going to say something sexual about your sister. Am I right? Talk to me. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So if you know it's coming, it should not throw you off. Khabib knew it was coming. He knew Conor was going to snap. He knew McGregor was going to talk trash the whole time. Call him a wuss. Call him a... Right? He knew it. And then when the match started, Khabib took him down. So the same thing goes tomorrow. When that whistle blows, hey, enough of the hype. Games aren't won with hype. Games are not won with hype. Games are not won with talk. Games are won with heart. And you got to be like Michael, man. You got to block that thing till the whistle blows. When it's go time, you go. You don't know when you're not going to have another opportunity to put the jersey on. You don't know that. Just like Coach is saying. This could be taken away from you in an instant. I was a professional athlete. I was at the top of my game. 3 days away from breaking camp with the Seattle Mariners. I throw a pitch, whack, tear my elbows to shreds. I never was the same again. Ever. I threw 97 miles per hour at one point. Mid-90s fastball, 6'4", 260, 500-pound deadlift. Gone. I recovered a little bit. I had some bright spots in the next 3 years, but I was never the same who I used to be. My buddy Ty McDevitt, coach of the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, pitching coach, starts getting all these crazy headaches. Starts like wondering what's going on with his body. He's a healthy 30-year-old. Wakes up one day, can barely get off the couch, can barely watch his daughter. Trying to figure out what's going on with his body. He's got pounding headaches. He can't hardly look at a phone. He can't look at a screen. He can't even drive anymore. Lyme's disease. Went and saw him last weekend. Went up to Minnesota. A year and a half later, he's back to normal activities. But what I'm trying to tell you is, you don't know when the jersey's coming off. So when you got it on, it's an absolute privilege. It's an absolute privilege. Y'all with me? There's no more excuse to be in laziness. Laziness is a condition of the heart. Laziness is a condition of the heart. You're leaning in too much to your flesh rather than your convictions. All of life is going to be difficult. You get a decision to choose which difficult do you want. If you're lazy, if you don't work hard, if you don't apply yourself, life will be very difficult. You will be poor, you will be out of shape, all of those things. You don't want to get up earlier than everybody else? Okay, that's fine. But there's consequences to that. And on the flip side, running through the line, doing everything you possibly can, working hard, eating right, sleeping right, getting off your dang phone 30 minutes before you go to bed, getting some better quality sleep, that stuff is difficult. It's all hard. But you get to choose which hard do I want. Because the rewards of doing difficult things far outweigh the repercussions of laziness. Y'all with me? Don't miss that. Y'all with me? The rewards of doing things that are difficult far outweigh the repercussions of laziness. So unity, family, like your brothers and sisters. That's how you treat your brothers and sisters. That's how you treat everyone with a jersey on tomorrow that has your color jersey. Love and hate cannot coexist. You might have quarrels with your brothers for doing something wrong, but love them with empathy and challenge them. Don't beat them down. This is your family. Treat them like it. Treat them like it. And lastly, you are not for everybody, but you are for somebody. 2 minutes as we wrap this up. You are not for everybody, but you are for somebody. You're not for everybody, but you are for somebody. If you continue to try and please everybody, you will miss the somebodies that are right here. I remember a few years ago, one of the first times I filmed my messages, right? Sometimes I post them, sometimes I just watch them so I can get better. I watch film just like you do, right? And I remember at the end of the message, a bunch of people came up to me, talked to me. I was telling my testimony of faith, all this cool stuff. This softball girl, she's crying. She's like, Lance, I'm going through tons of injuries. All this stuff that's happened to me. She's crying. She's pouring her heart out. It was a beautiful moment. But I go back and I look at the film, right? And at the same time that somebody was crying out to me, somebody in the background was laughing, right? Somebody was making fun of my message. So at the same time, somebody's laughing and crying at the same words that I'm saying. And I realize I'm not for everybody, but I am for somebody. And you is the same way right now. You cannot please this whole world. You'll miss the ones you're supposed to protect. These are the somebodies right here. When you guys grow up and you get married, when you have a kid, these are the people that you're going to call. You will never forget this team, I promise you. I played in college, summer leagues, all that, professional. The high school team was the closest bond because you grow up with these people. These are the somebodies you're supposed to protect. These are the somebodies that you're supposed to play for. And sometimes coach is asking you to play in a way that you might not want to play. He might be asking you to do things that you don't understand. He might be asking you to be relentless when you don't want to be. He might be asking you to play a position you don't want to play. He might be asking you to do something that seems odd. But there's a story from back in the biblical times when the Israelites were given a promise of the promised land. And in order to get the promised land back, the big coach upstairs said, you got to go through Jericho. And Jericho is this huge, powerful city. And it's got monster walls. Monster walls. And here's how most people would fight back in the day. They would try to ransack the city. They would try to break down the walls. They would try to go over the wall. So right now, what most people think is how you should fight is tweeting back, is yelling back, is chirping back at them tomorrow, you think you need to combat that type of energy with the same type of energy. Khabib probably was tempted to talk like McGregor, but he didn't. And coach is asking you to be relentless tomorrow. But here's what happened. Moses has just died. But the promised land is out here. They got to get through Jericho. This man named Joshua has an opportunity to lead the Israelite army. And the big coach upstairs, he says, you are going to do it my way. And he says, I want you to walk around the city 7 times. And the walls are going to come down. And the walls are going to come down. I want you to walk around the city 7 times and the walls are going to come down. But most people are used to fighting a certain way. It seems odd that the big coach would ask him to walk around the walls. But Joshua, here's what he does. He decides to lead that army and have faith and protect his family. 6 days they walk around the walls. And on the 7th day, they walk around the walls. They blow the trumpet. And everything comes crashing down. The walls of Jericho come crashing down. They take the city and they go to the promised land. So even though it's unorthodox not to be like the other team and not to match that chirpy energy, you have a promised land out there waiting for you, and it's defeating Mountain View High School. Are y'all with me?
Sir.
You got this. You have a decision to make. Am I going to do what the big coach tells me to do? Am I going to lean into my assignment? Am I going to do the running? Am I going to run the play like he's asking me to run it? Am I going to give everything I got because I got family right here and I would do anything for my family and my brothers? You have a decision to make. It's up to you. It's you versus you in here. It's you versus you. It's one-on-one when you run the play. Yes, you're running a cohesive unit, but it's you versus you up here. Mountain View cannot touch you. They will try to chirp you out of this game and take you out of it. But if you know it's coming, it won't be a surprise. Surprise parties suck when you know they're coming. They start yelling at you tomorrow? Good. You knew it was coming. Don't let that take you off your game. Coach is asking you to do things a certain way, do it. Just like the walls of Jericho are going to come down, Mountain View is going to come down. And it's not going to be because of the way that you talk or the way that you snap. It's going to be the way that you handle yourself when they snap and talk. It's going to be the way that you trust coach. And it's going to be the way that you lean into family like a unit. Somebody say unity. 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 Relentless. Relentless. Unity. Let's get it, man.
Man, powerful. All I can tell you is powerful.